Hey, how you doing? Brian Cain, host of the Team Allie, Beth, Allman Real Estate Mindset podcast here with Keith Conlon and Erin Young Garrett. And today we're talking about bringing calm to chaos. Erin, I think this is a great concept, especially during these times in the real estate market where it's easy to get caught up in the chaos. It's easy to get caught up in what might be coming and what the market might do. And I think we have to bring that calm to chaos so that we can be in control of ourselves before we can control our performance. So what's some of the chaos that you see would be valuable for our agents to bring that calm to?
Well, as an agent, you come into the deal and you're supposed to help remove the emotion from the side you're working with. And sometimes, you want your client to feel like you're always fighting for them. And you do get wrapped up in the emotion of being the buyer or the seller. And so often what happens is you're going back and forth and you want to win on every little point. You just get caught on little points that are in principle, you may be right, but overall, it's not going to get you to the closing table.
Yeah, I think that idea about, winning every point versus redefining win. And I think in real estate, Keith, one of the things you and I have talked about is that the win is getting the deal to closing. In order to get to the deal to closing, win is stay focused on what's important now. So what are some things maybe, Keith, that you do to help you stay focused on what's important now to help bring some calm to the chaos that you deal with?
Yeah, I think in my position and being a former agent, I mean, it's just seeing it through. So like you said, you don't get paid unless it closes, but stepping outside and taking a moment, if there is an issue, how do you problem solve? How do you work with the other agent or your client and say, hey, this is the best way to get through this. But it is staying calm that whole time. Hey, this is a fixable issue. We're going to work through this. We've got a great title company on our side, or we got a great lender on our side. And, it's just working, it all goes back to me for team sports and so many things, working with the team that you put together, who are all on your side that are good people and can see it through. So it's just bringing it all into one, like you said, in like full circle. So from the start of the deal to that first offer to the closing table, but not getting sucked into the emotion and everything that comes with a seller maybe selling their 30-year house or their family house. Why are they acting a certain way? It's just like, hey, let's just keep this thing moving and get it to the finish line.
Yeah, and that mentality of getting it to the finish line, being mission driven, like what's the mission, what's the outcome? And the outcome is get the house to closing, get the deal to closing. And in order to do that, I got to stay locked in on what's important now. Erin, you mentioned the concept before we started to record here about planting a seed. And planting a seed is part of like the daily process. What exactly does that mean, and how is that beneficial for our agents?
Well, that actually comes from one of our best agents, our top agent, one of our top agents here at Allie, Beth, Erin Matthews. And Keith can probably speak to it better, but just doing something every day that's going to grow your business and help it progress. And I mean, I know Keith used to be on her team and knows that from her very well. So he might be able to give more to it.
Sure.
Yeah, Erin Matthews was a team leader of mine early in my career and a mentor. And in this business, you might go a week or a month or even a quarter without a deal. Easy to say, I'm going to hit the golf course or check out for the day, do something that's not productive. But she was always, like you can hear her in the voice, plant a seed today. What seed did you plant? What did you do? Did you, do anything marketing wise? Did you take a prospect to lunch or coffee? It's just always having something going. If you plant several seeds a day or a week or a month, they're eventually going to grow into future business. And that's I think that's just a great strategy and mentality to have. That I don't have anything going on today, so to speak, on the calendar that is maybe real estate, but I'm gonna plant those future seeds. So in a week, 6 weeks, 6 months, there is going to be business there.
Yeah, I love that mentality of planting a seed and the mentality of watering the bamboo. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of the book Water the Bamboo by Dr. Greg Bell, but it's an amazing concept where he talks about that there's 2,500 different species of bamboo, but there's one type of bamboo, the great timber bamboo, that is watered every day, and in year one there's no growth. Watered every day, and in year two no growth. Watered every day in year three, no growth. but water it in year 4 and you get 90 feet of growth every 6 weeks. And I think that the concept is, it's not that you get 90 feet of growth in 6 weeks. That's the fruit. That's the yield you get from planting the seed of watering it for 4 years. And the bamboo that grows beneath the ground to be able to shoot that, is built off that foundation. It's no different than if we want to see how big they're building a skyscraper in downtown Dallas, Fort Worth, we look at how deep they're building the foundation. And I think when we look at bringing calm to chaos, we look at our own foundation from a mental performance standpoint and say, what do I do every day? Thank you, Natalie Bliss, to invest into the personal to win before I start to invest into the public, to win the private before I go out and win the public. And am I having an AM routine where I take some time for myself to read, to meditate, to create quiet time, to maybe sweat before screens? Right? Do I have a routine when I start my workday to build momentum into my day, a series of continual tasks that I do every day as a routine? Do I have a way to shut down my day at the end of the day so that the next day, that startup routine is that much cleaner and easier, so that, my work days bookend each other, where I start up and I shut down, and I'm investing into myself to bring that calm to chaos, to plant a seed for myself every day, knowing that the most important day of my real estate career is today. Because yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery. The only thing I can do anything about is today. That's why it's a gift. It's called the present. So in terms of focusing on being where your feet are and staying in that present moment, one of the challenges I think the agents have is they can look so far into the future that they get paralyzed to operate in the present. Is that something that you see, Erin, in terms of agents maybe trying to forecast what's going to happen or could happen, and then that hurts their current day performance?
Oh, 100%. People will get overwhelmed of, not having enough business in the moment, that they, you can feel. And at another time when Erin spoke to our office, she talked about, having a certain energy when you go to show. And when you start thinking too far in advance, you pick up all that anxiety, and then you go show and your clients feel that anxiety or that pressure that you've put on yourself to make that deal, that house, be the right one. And when it might not be, and they choose, and then they don't choose it, and then you're caught up in the emotion of getting too far ahead of yourself and looking too far forward.
Yeah, for sure. Keith, anything to add to that in terms of agents being paralyzed in the present by what they might forecast into the future?
Yeah, and I think it goes to what, the state of the market and the country right now. People are, if you read, national news, it's doom and gloom in the real estate industry. Mortgage rates have skyrocketed, which they're still low in terms of, if you look 30 years back or even longer. But when people start saying this is where we're headed, a lot of economists have said that the first half of the year will be fantastic and then we're going to fall off. Well, it's June 7th. So everyone's like, we're almost at halfway point of the year. Are we going to fall off? What's going to happen? Do you think we're going to have a good second half of the year? Well, we've had an amazing the first 5 months of the year. It looks like we're going to have, our firm's going to have a great June. If you start thinking outside that, yes, you can give yourself anxiety. How are we going to finish the year? It's like, as Allie Beth always says, I don't have the crystal ball, so to speak. But if you keep doing your day-to-day, work, you plant the seed and all these things, then we will be set up for success. So it's just, and it goes back to bringing calm to chaos. It's a chaotic world. There's a lot of things going on right now, but we can block out that noise and stick to our day-to-day plan, and we'll be fine. And I think we've done that the last few years.
Yeah, I love when you mentioned the day-to-day plan, right? And bringing the calm to the chaos. Part of how I do that in my world is I have a daily plan. I know what my ideal day looks like from a work standpoint. I know what I'm doing between 7 and 9 a.m. I know what I'm doing between 9 and noon, noon to 1, and 1 to 5, and 5 to 9. And it doesn't always go that way, but I know when I'm at my best, and I'm my most fruitful, and I'm my most productive, and I'm making the biggest impact I can for my clients, that's what my day looks like. So I try to align my behaviors and my schedules with trying to accommodate that type of workday flow to give me the best chance for success. The other piece I like about scheduling my day like that in the blocks is not only does it bring calm to the chaos of going, wow, I got 30 Zoom calls today. No, I don't. I got one 30 times. Easy. Be where your feet are. And then it's a friend of mine who was a Navy SEAL who I mentioned today on my Mental Performance Daily podcast. And he said something to me. He said, Most anxiety in life comes from obsessing about a future you can't control. And most depression in life comes from obsessing about a past you can no longer do anything about. He says, if you're going to be an optimal elite performer, you have to obsess about what you're doing today because it's the only thing that you can influence and control. So as we know, yesterday's history, tomorrow's mystery, today's a gift. That's why we call it the present. So let's not count the days. Let's make those days count. Let's bring that calm to the chaos. Let's plant those seeds every day. Let's be mission driven and know our big win is to get the deal to closing. And let's always remember that today's a great day to be a part of Team Allie Beth. Keith, Erin, thank you for being here. Let's dominate today.
Thank you.